everyone, my name is Courtney Jagelski, and the recipe that I chose to make is quartz cowboy caviar. I chose to make this dish because it is just something that's super easy to whip up. You can grow a lot of the ingredients in a garden, find them at local farmers markets, and it's just super easy, super simple, and really good. A lot of people really enjoy it. It's a super healthy recipe. It's all made with like I said, grown ingredients. So there's peppers, there's cilantro, there's tomatoes, corn. Not really anything unhealthy is in this recipe. There's beans, so you're getting protein, you're getting your vegetables. There's also feta cheese in it, so you're getting a little bit of dairy, which can be changed if you do have like a lactose intolerance thing going on. You could always just not put feta cheese in. It's good without it, but my family loves the feta cheese, so I always put feta cheese in it. But yeah, it's a super good healthy recipe. You can eat it with chips, you can eat it with cut up pieces of like peppers, like red peppers, just scoop it and eat it, or you can eat it with straight up with a spoon. It's so good. This recipe relates to class because it is something, like I mentioned before, that can be grown in a garden or found in a local farmer's market. So you can literally grow most of the ingredients in this recipe besides the feta cheese. You can grow the peppers, tomatoes, cilantro. If you have like your own little farm, you can grow the corn. Beans, you can grow beans. You have to pick them. It's more complicated, but you can grow beans. But yeah, it's a super simple recipe. It can be used for people in therapy if they're growing their own garden. They can pick these things and they can make this dip themselves. Like, it's super simple. And not only will they have the therapy of growing their own garden, but they'll be able to make the food and they'll be able to enjoy the food from their garden. The population I would choose this recipe for, and this dish in general, is for geriatrics. I just feel like they'd enjoy it more. It's pretty easy for them. It would work on fine motor skills with getting to cut up vegetables. As well as a lot of kids tend to, well, like for pediatrics, I should say, they tend to not like vegetables. They might not find the dish looking to be like visually appealing, so they might kind of tend to lean away from it, whereas adults are more open to trying new things, and like I mentioned, it's easy to prepare, so that would be helpful for the geriatrics population. Some problem areas that are often associated with the geriatric population include depression, decrease in fine motor skills, isolation, and all those things can be addressed by just getting together with people and getting to make this really good recipe and then being able to share it with their family and friends. Gardening in general and growing your own fruits and vegetables is very like uplifting and relaxing because you are producing something, you're producing your own food. You know where it comes from, you know that it's like quote unquote organic depending on how you garden it. You know it's healthy, and so that alone can just help boost your attitude. My dad, that's one of my favorite things my dad loves to do, is take care of our garden. He just enjoys it so much. And with the fine motor skills, this intervention can help because they will be using knives and spoons and mixing and chopping things up. If you need to adjust that a little bit, you can get knives with like bigger handles, so their grip strength is not being challenged as much. Or a lot of these vegetables and fruits you can find in cans if it's really like that far to having to use cans to do it. You can go ahead and do that. But it can help improve fine motor skills by just preparing this dish in general. For my goals and objectives, my goal would be to decrease depression, and the objective would be that before and after the intervention, the client will rate their happiness level on a scale from 1 to 10. And the other goal is to improve fine motor skills, and the objective for that would be that during the session, the client will cut up at least one pepper by themselves. Some of the precautions with developing this dish could be the sharpness of the knives that are laying around, the sharpness of the cans, dietary restrictions. If someone is lactose intolerant, the feta cheese can cause an issue, which we could just fix that by not having feta cheese in there, or having some other kind of cheese that is dairy free. But just being aware that there are sharp things laying around, making sure that you are using proper cooking methods, proper knife care, and using other adaptations that would be needed for this population. One piece of adaptive equipment that we could use, and like I mentioned before, would be knives with bigger handles. This way grip strength doesn't play a huge role in it. They'd be able to grip the knife and still be able to chop things up pretty easily. So that would be the one thing that I would definitely recommend. But yeah, that is my presentation. The recipe and my picture is going to be posted here as well. I highly recommend trying it out. Like I said, my family loves it. We make it for cookouts, we make it for night outs, like all these fun things, and people love it so much. It goes by so fast. But the recipe that I posted below is a pretty hefty recipe. It lasts my family a couple days, but it does good in the refrigerator, and like I said, I highly recommend it. Alright.